Evening, everybody. This might be a quick one. What we're doing is a piece using only the micro freak. I've just dusted off an old piece. It was just like a 7 or 8 minute epic. Goodness knows why I was writing stuff that flipping long. Anyway, we got about a 5 minute piece, and it's just. It's a piece that has maybe three different sort of sections, so I think it might be a good piece to try and highlight some of the features of the micro freak. Tonight I'm going to try and record one of the kind of pad sounds using preset 45 that I've diddled around with a little bit. This is how it sounds. Obviously, although it's a preset, I got lots of control over the sound. Obviously, envelope filters. Bit of glide. I will record each of my stems with a little bit of compression just from the lexicon. No reverb. I'll put reverb on post because it's just, I can then tie all the stems together with the same reverb, which may give it a bit more coherence. That's what we're doing in this set of videos. This is another bit of sort of filling pad. The patch is called Saying Goodbye, and I'm not really monkeying around with this much. That's the most interesting bit that has in this piece. If you just listen to the two stems I've just recorded with reverb from the box, doesn't sound amazing. But early days. I'm sure some Valhalla will come in at some point. I may end up changing some of these pads to some of the more kind of rhythmic patches on the micro freak, which is maybe where that sort of shines. We'll see. All right, this is the second evening of making a track with just the micro freak. I got to be honest, don't love the results, but these are just basically all the stems have been recorded. It's not really mixed. It's sounding like this. Where have you gone? So it needs some work, it needs some mixing. What am I finding? I'm finding the tracks off the freak are, in terms of panning, they're like dead center stereo. So the whole mix is like going right down the middle of the stereo field. So there's no sort of, I need to use my mixing skills to add some depth and some stereo field to the things. I mean, there's a few sort of pad sounds going on, so they need to start, exploring the stereo field somewhat. What's good though, it's essentially a digital preset synth. There's just loads of sort of patches there to sort of a starting point to then you start to sort of tweak the sounds. So, it's really unlimited palette of sounds there. Yeah, and it's nice to sort of just, I've got the pad to record, start dialing in some sounds, start changing the parameters. Yeah, it's a really nice synth to work with. Small footprint, doesn't take up a lot of room. Yeah, so still getting used to it. I'm just wondering if more the kind of sequencing and arpeggios is where, and the stranger sounds is where that shines, maybe. Because I'm looking at my little modular rig here, and I'm wondering how would the mix be different if I used only that to do the mix, and maybe that's for another video. But let's stick with this track and see if we can just get it finished. So, a couple of decisions overnight. Piece is too long, so I'm going to make it shorter. I think I just prefer the stuff at the beginning of the piece compositionally. Second decision is we've got the original percussion line. So I know it's percussion line because it says Red Rum, which is the original Reason sort of drum machine. We're going to farm that off to one of the SFX patches, which sounds like that, which will just add a bit more interest and spice to the track. And then, shorten the piece and then mix it. And then we're getting there. Right, quick updates on the Microfreak track. We've got the monitors on. Really glad I did a bit of mixing on the monitors. There was some because that's a digital synth, some of the highs can be a bit crikey, and I'm finding there's a little bit of noise as well coming from that, but that's maybe something to dig into for its own separate video. So that's one thing, bit of mixing on the monitors. But also I have dug out my secret weapon for super amazing mastering. Yeah, it's the good old Vestafire 4-track recorder. So what I think I'm going to, and you can see it's all wired up ready, and the tape is queued up and ready. In fact, let me just reset the counter because I've made a note of where the counter is. So that's all ready to go. What is that? Oh, that's the cable coming from my sound card into the tape player. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish mastering it in the box, record it to tape, and then play the tape back into Reaper and just do a final bit of polishing, and then it's ready for you. So it's sounding fine. Yeah, this microphone will pick up the monitor mix a little bit, but I don't know how well that's picking up the sound. Yeah, I don't know how good that sounds, but yeah, no, happy. But I think the real magic will come from putting it onto tape. Let's see. Maybe not. Okay, we've got, I think, a dodgy connector at the back of the tape machine. Surprise, surprise. A 4-track recorder from the 1990s is a bit dodge, but if I can get the connectors at the back to stay well, give me a consistent signal. See, it sounds good once the cables are sorted. Okay, let's sort out the cables. I do have a phone out, which will give me a sort of stereo 1/4 inch, which I could probably, go into the board. Let's see if we can sort this out. All right, unfortunately, the distortion I'm hearing is actually on the recording. So I've just got my Sony Walkman and playing it back, and it where I'm hearing the distortion played back on the Vestifier, I'm also hearing it on the Walkman. So it's on the tape, sadly. So let's try another recording and just listen out and just listen. Yeah, try another recording and just listen. This is why nobody uses tape anymore. This is... Okay, I think this one's good. I think this one's good. Let's get it back into Reaper. Alrighty, we are there. So, an entire track made on the Microfreak, recorded on the tape, back into the DAW, just had a quick listen on the monitors. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's come out. Yeah, happy with that. Right, let's wrap the video up. Does putting it onto tape and then back into the DAW, does it take away the harshness of the digital sounds? I don't know, maybe. I mean, the filter on the Freak would also take away the harshness, right? Or just EQing on your board as you're creating stems would also do that trick. Or, going through a tube preamp probably might have the same effect. Or or just sort of tinkering with the sound a little bit, with these orange settings. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the track. I think it's partly it's kind of lazy me, like going back to an old some old MIDI that I wrote like years ago and using that. Possibly you get better results writing for the sounds on the Freak and using more of those kind of sequence and arpeggiated patches maybe. But there we go. All right, that's the end of the video. Any questions, put them in the comments below. See you in the next video. Yeah, all right, ta-da, bye 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 bye.